Good morning. Good morning. It's 3:05 a.m. I am on my way to the gym right now. I listened to Jim Rohn, and Jim Rohn is a motivational speaker who was under the tutelage of the owner of Herbalife. I think his name was Mark. I don't know. I want to say Mark Cuban, but I know that's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. But the owner of that, I think he died around the age of 49. He mentored Jim Rohn, spoke to Jim Rohn, and Jim Rohn makes statements regarding success and steps that are necessary to achieve success. And I also listened to this other guy, and they're both in the network marketing field, which is pretty interesting because I believe everything works. It just depends on how you work it. The other guy I listened to is A.L. Williams. A.L. Williams, is the founder of an insurance network marketing group. And he gave this statement. This statement is called "Just Do It." It's a speech he gave. And he asked, do you know what separates the person who makes $50,000 from the person that makes $500,000? And he says they both work the same. They both give the same. They both do the same. He said they're so similar that literally the only thing you would notice to the human eye is one makes $50,000, the other one makes $500,000. But he said, the person that makes $500,000, he gives it just a little bit more. He wants it just a little bit more. He watches his money just a little bit more. He saves his money just a little bit more. He shows up just a little bit more. It's even a lot like sports. It's a game of inches, right? If you remember the Super Bowl between the St. Louis Rams and I think the Houston Oilers, inches. This NFL player's been playing since Pee Wee Pop Warner. Up to that point, 20-some years. Inches. The biggest stage of their life. Inches. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Just inches. And the only thing that separates somebody who's a high producer versus somebody who is just producing at a normal level is the one just gives it a little bit more. So I got down on my knees and I said my prayers this morning. And I had to tell God, I said, God, there's so many times I felt like I just wanted to give up. I didn't know why I wanted to give up. It just felt like maybe I didn't have enough knowledge. Maybe I didn't know. Maybe I felt like it wasn't going to happen. Maybe I felt like I was wasting my time. And given my background, it was easy for me to go back to an illegal hustle. But then somewhere in the back of my mind, I kept saying, I would be orphaning my kids. So it wasn't an option. I'm good at it, but it wasn't an option. He said it takes just a little bit more. You got to reinvest back into your business. Just a little bit more. You got to reinvest back into yourself just a little bit more. You got to give your job, your business, your career just a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And at some point, I started to really take what these people were saying serious. Because I said, why would they lie? Why would they lie? But see, along the way, I also realized that my life probably isn't going to go in the same direction as theirs, but the principle for success is universal across the platform. The results aren't always going to look the same. But the fact that it will happen is real. So why won't you just give it a little bit more? Just a little bit more. Just do a little bit more. Just commit to a little bit more. It's hard. But see, it prepares you to have and to handle what's coming your way. It's a more likelihood that a lottery winner will go broke they weren't ready. They didn't have anything behind them to reinforce that kind of finance boost. It almost was so much it choked the life out of them. Offered them no hope. You gotta get adapted. And that's why it's hard, because the process is intended to prepare you for what you want, to handle it when you get it, to be able to keep it when you have it. Really, in life, I think you have two choices. Choice one, you can just give it a little bit less. Choice two, you give it a little bit more. And if you take choice 2, you'll start seeing something really beautiful happening. If you opt for the other one, I think you're always going to feel like you left something on the table. I think you're always going to feel like you left something to be desired. But you have to be willing to put in that work. It's not going to happen any other way.